What's going on, everyone? Marc Lobliner here, alongside a natural professional bodybuilder. Natural, okay? This is a man who crossed over, went into the NPC, won his class. Here's the kicker. Dude's a vegan. Like, he is a vegan, natural professional bodybuilder who got second place in a very competitive NPC show. This is a guy who completely, he's the guy I refer to when people are like, can you make gains on being a vegan? I'm like, well, yeah, this guy, he doesn't just do it because he loves not killing animals. He does it because it's his culture, because he's Native American. Ladies and gentlemen, Barbarian Hawk, what's up, bro?
What's going on, my man? How you doing? How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling pretty good, man. Had a good time on Timcast last night. So this channel, just to let you guys know, for those who want the Gainscast and Timcast, this is be more fitness based, man. I don't want to get into the whole, I don't want YouTube shutting this channel down, because this channel actually has 400,000 subs, and I don't want to lose that YouTube. Gainscast, we just, whatever. But this is one where we're going to talk about fitness, and Hawk, I've been meaning to have on for a long time. Also, guys, I want you to know that I am reading comments, and I'm reading questions, and if you want to pay for the super chat, I'm not going to turn down your money, but we're going to go through every question, time permitting. So if you want to pay us, that's fine. If you don't care, we're going to answer it anyway. Hawk and I are doing plenty good in life. We're not going to beg you for money, but if you want to throw money at us, we got some G-string panties on, and we're ready to take it all. Just stick the $100 bills right up in the waistband, baby, right up in the waistband. Oh, man. So, Hawk, man, how you doing, man? Give us an update of how your training is going, how your diet's going. I'm sure people want to know what the fuck a vegan eats.
I'm doing phenomenal, man. Training is, I started that new training program that we were talking about.
Oh, the one I just put up for free for everybody.
Oh, yeah. I blasted quads yesterday. I actually, to be honest with you, I actually started it on Saturday. I had to do hamstrings on Saturday, so I decided, let me just do the hamstring day, and then I'll take Sunday off and then start Monday fresh with quads. Man, I blasted quads yesterday. I did shoulders today. Training is going phenomenal. Weights increasing. Took us a while after we started adding in food. It took a while for the weight to actually start going up instead of down. Food's good. Food's high. Got the outright bar pre and post workout. So that is, I don't know. There's something about the outright bar pumps. Not trying to sell it on people, but I've tried to mimic it. The pump gains are serious. Well, there's no way to match.
It's got the healthy fats. It's got the carbs. It's got what you need pre and post. It's also got what you need if you're hungry during the day. That's why I always tell people to eat it pre and post workout. That's the only time I ate it during prep, because prep, you get like, your calories suck. You got to go pretty low. It's funny because when you're bulking, Hawk, I actually help him with his diet. When he's bulking, he can go fucking high. Like, dude's eating like a fucking champ. But when he's dieting, he has to go pretty fucking low. But also, let's put it in perspective. Hawk and I win because we get leaner than everybody. We don't have Brandon Curry muscle bellies. So it's one of those things where, and he's also competing against guys on drugs, and he's not. So you got to look at those things when you're actually bringing in a physique. And, we're playing, it's also, you play your game. Like, when we get on, when Hawk gets on a national stage, we might play a different ball game, different strategy than we did when we went on a regional stage, because there's different level of competitors. Like I was telling him the other day at Sushi, man, it's like when you get to the national stage, it's like going to every regional show you ever went to and taking the top two and putting only them there. Like all the other guys are like, they're gone. Like the shitty bodybuilders don't go to those shows. You might have a couple here and there, but you're looking backstage. And I remember at Masters USA, so I'm looking around like, these guys are fucking amazing. Holy shit. And that's the perspective. Once you jump, it's like, once you jump from high school football to college football to the pros, that's bodybuilding. You jump from regional to nationals to the pros, it's a funnel effect.
Yeah. I do it because I just love training and I love the competitive edge. If I wasn't bodybuilding, I would probably doing something else. I mean, in high school, I used to do MMA and boxing, but we all know the wife ain't going to really like us getting hit in the head too much. No. So bodybuilding just scratches that itch. And I always play that rule of thumb, and I have that I have that perfect second eye, I call it, which Marc is my second eye. So when I'm coming into a show, the game is not to play the size game because I don't have the 200 pounds, the 250 pounds. Like in my weight class, yeah, I'm a smoke dude. I have a very small waist. I have a big back, and I know how to pose. But when I stand next to those, so the guy who I came second place to in for the overall for everything, because I won lightweight bodybuilding and middleweight bodybuilding as well as classic because I do both. The guy weighed 275, and I stepped on stage at 169.9, 170. He was a whole nother human. I'll take that. I mean,
he was
second
like
place is a loss to me, but he's a whole nother human, bigger than me. And it was what it was, but at least the other guys that were above 200 pounds, they came second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. My structure was right. It's just if they were going for structure and flow, then I'm the guy. But if they're going for the size and the overall size package, they went with him. But training is great, man. I'm loving it. I love the new program you sent me. Can't wait to make these gains and bring these legs up, bring these hamstrings up. And, you know, one of the things Marc mentioned that I just wanted to expand on was, you know, yeah, you know, when we're getting ready for a show, when we're dieting for a show, yeah, sometimes, you know, I leave it up to him. So, you know, if my calories get low, it is what it is, but I'm not going to sit here and cry and moan. I'm going to still lift heavy ass weight. Excuse me for cursing, but I'm going to still lift heavy weight.
Ass is a donkey, so we're okay.
All right, cool. So I'm going to still lift the heavy weight. I'm going to still smash it, and it doesn't matter. Like we did it, you know, every show is a different approach. I do have a lot more muscle mass than when we were competing 2 years ago, you know, like, so.
That's the goal. So you're a vegan. So as a vegan, so you have to pay it. So I tweeted the other day that you can make, is veganism optimal? No, I don't think most vegans will agree it's optimal, but can you make phenomenal, near optimal gains on veganism? And the answer is yes. You just have to pay more attention. Now, do you agree with that?
Yeah, it's more, you got to be meticulous. I mean, you've traveled with myself, so like, you know, I'll bring planta outright bars or some kind of vegan meat replacement if we're going to a restaurant that doesn't have, like, because I don't really like doing those high sodium meat replacements because they don't work with me. I tend to, like, out of nowhere just start holding water because of that high sodium. So traveling, like, is it easier to go to a restaurant and say, hey, let's go for the steak and let's go for the fish to get the protein? Like, that may be an easy route if there's no other option, but that's not my lifestyle. That's not me. So I always make sure that I bring, like, when we went out for sushi, I got the avocado roll, I had my carbs, I had my fats, and then I had, you know, vegan meat replacement, had my planta and stuff in the car. And I feel that you have to be a little bit more strategic as a vegan trying to make gains. Now, if you're just an ethical vegan and you're just eating to eat, cool. You can eat all of the quinoa and that's fine. But if you're trying to make optimal gains, lean contractile tissue, you can't say I'm going to swap out my protein source for quinoa, because even though quinoa has a complete amino acid profile, the carbohydrates is higher. So you're technically swapping a protein for a carb. And those people tend to look a little softer, and they tend to not have that. They tend to not have that hard vascular look. And I have an addiction to seeing veins in my arms and legs. If I don't see them, I start feeling fat. I don't care if I have abs. If I don't see the veins, I start getting in my head like, oh, I got to do something about it. So yes, you got to be meticulous and you got to be strategic. You got to pair up the right foods. You got to space them out right, because, you know, you got to make sure you don't overdo the fiber, because then you'll get gut bombs. And who wants to, you know, have gut issues while you're trying to train, while you're trying to squat?
So what about supplements? Like, there's issues with protein, right? Like, getting enough protein as a vegan, you have to combine carb sources, which put your carbs super high. To get enough protein from beans and rice, you're getting like 800 fucking grams of carbs. And then you have B12 and things like that. So what do vegans have to supplement with?
To each, this is the first thing I would say. I would say everybody needs to go get some blood work done and take a look at the blood work and see what that individual is lacking. Now, the last time I did my blood work, my B12 levels were so high that the doctor was like, wow, it looks like you're eating beef 6 times a day. And I know you're a vegan. So your B12 levels are perfect. Now, I was a little low on vitamin D3. So what I was doing at the time was I was taking 1 capsule of MTS Vega D3, and after showing the product to my doctor, he said I could prescribe you D3, but this product is gonna do it. Just instead of doing one, do 2 caps. We waited 3 months. We came back. We checked it. No longer deficient in vitamin D3. Perfect across the board. So we got to look at those things. Now, sodium, potassium, I always supplement with Naturalite, and I keep that in my water. I do it about anywhere from 3 to 6 times. Sometimes in prep, if my calves and stuff are fluttering, I may go up to 8 times just to get rid of the cramping. I noticed this was the first prep, having the Naturalite in all the time and having that electrolyte balance. I didn't cramp at all during prep. I did cramp a little bit backstage, but I mean, Mark, you know why that happened.
Well, I mean, a lot of it could also have to do with stress and peaking and carbs and what. There's so many variables, and staving off cramps, and also people don't understand, like, you're posing really fucking hard. Like, if you do all the classes you did, like I did, 2 classes, I was fucking spent, and they ran us through the ringer, right? So if you get on stage and you pose, it's hard. And some from used to box multiple rounds, right? Like, if you get on stage and you pose, it is one of the most exhausting things you could possibly do. And anybody who's ever competed will tell you that. At least anybody who's posed. You have some shitty competitors, probably like, it was easy. I'm like, you look like shit. But if you're on there and you're trying to win and you're in the top 5 or the top 3 and they're comparing you, it's fucking horrible. Like, it's a lot of work. And that also, so you got veganism, right? Which is one end of the spectrum. And this is what I found a topic. Now that we'll get into questions to go into more of what Hawk does. So type your questions in. We'll get to these at the end. So we've heard me talk about the carnivore diet. And the thing about Hawk is he's basically vegan for, I'm not going to say religious or not religious purposes, but more of a cultural purpose. Is that a good way of putting it?
Yep. Perfect. Cultural purpose is perfect.
Yeah. So for him, it's about more than just, not killing Bambi. It's cultural, it's heritage. It's a deep, amazing heritage of Native American, right? So you look at the polar opposite and you see people claiming that this thing, all these people, oh, I'm getting a 6-pack abs. I'm eating 14 fucking pounds of ribeyes a day. I don't eat vegetables, and I fucking, and plants kill you. And obviously Hawk looks very sick and dead right now, right? And vegans are like, oh, and these carnivores are claiming that it's making their hair grow back. Now, if anybody has a lot of hair, it's Hawk. So we kind of dispelled that vegans have hair loss issues. Especially when the people behind the carnivore diet are balding, which isn't a problem. Like, they're getting older, and Hawk might bald one day, but like, it's fucking genetic. But they're literally claiming that being a carnivore, they're claiming it grows hair back. And I like how they're investing in research and they have the funds and everything. That's great. I love data. And I'm actually a fan of the carnivore diet for some applications like autoimmune disorders, because you're cutting out a lot of things like oxalates and other things and gluten that can, elicit a response or an inflammatory response. So my question to you, as a lifelong vegan who doesn't just talk about being in shape, but gets on stage naturally as a vegan and beats the shit out of dudes on drugs and is about to compete in a pro qualifier later this year, to be determined. My question for you, if I set the table correctly, what are your thoughts? And Hawk is the guy to ask because he's not an asshole. Hawk's not one of those, look, dude, I eat a lot of fucking meat. Like, I'm sitting there eating sushi by the fucking handfuls, and he's not like, you're a fucking fish murderer. No, he's like, sushi, is it good? Yeah, it's fucking great. This is some good ass sushi. It's a bomb ass sushi. It was affordable too. And I'm like, this is awesome. You picked a great, he even picked the sushi place. So
yeah, it was a great place right around the corner from me.
So good. Next time
I'm
I'm
gonna take my wife.
going to be there quarterly. We should make that a quarterly thing, except next time we got to train first. So here's the question, dude. As a vegan, not just a vegan, but a diet coach and a guy with training certificates and education and all that, what is your, I hate putting you on the spot, what is your opinion of the carnivore diet?
I feel like it's too extreme in my, I mean, but they both are. So let me kind of set the precedent. I love to call myself plant-based. Vegan is cool, but then you have some of these vegans who take it way over the edge.
Like Vegan Gains, that dude's nuts.
I mean, like, they all are.
You would probably fight him. You'd probably get mad and fight the guy.
Probably, I don't know, you know, because they go too far. It's like I'm not gonna run around and ride a bicycle and walk around in moccasins. Like I want to look good too. So there's leather seats in my car. Yeah, okay, it's in my car. I didn't kill the animal. I get the whole concept. For all I know, it's probably fake leather, but they wouldn't consider me a vegan because I have leather seats in my car. But I say that to say this, that the carnivores have went all the way to the opposite side to where it's all meat and nothing else. And I mean, yes, do vegans have to supplement? Yeah. But carnivores got to supplement. I mean, we got all the plants. We have the vitamins. We got the minerals. I mean, one of the main things from doing some research on a lot of people who do the carnivore diet is they lack something called B9, which is folate. You know,
testosterone levels are in the dirt.
Testosterone is low. We know folate is important for red blood cell count, formation of healthy cells. Vitamin C deficient. There were sailors. I actually saw some studies on the old time where the sailors who only ate fish and meat, they wind up getting scabies because of their lack of vitamin C. So if you're a carnivore guy, right, or a carnivore girl, and you're like on that edge to where it's all meat, then that means you can't supplement because most vitamins and minerals are coming from plants. So if you're gonna stay real carnivore, then how are you gonna get those? How are you fixing those imbalances? Is the vitamin D? There was a study I also did, which beside the fact that, you know, carnivore diets, they raise the LDL and lower your HDL, but it was the ammonia toxicity. Have you heard about this?
I have not. I'd like to hear more.
All right. So when consuming, because they like to go for just all meat, but a lot of it is beef, and they don't care if it's grass fed or not, from what I've seen, right? But the high protein consumption, the body is taking those proteins, converting them to amino acids. Those amino acids is going through the liver. There you go. And then the liver is converting it to urea, and then it has to be filtered through the kidneys twice after it's turned into urine. Now, they have found that the higher nitrogen, there's a higher nitrogen balance, but also a higher nitrogen toxicity level overworking the kidneys. And we know that the kidney does not rejuvenate itself like the liver.
No.
So there's a lot of studies out there now saying that these high carnivore diets over time is going to damage the kidneys and overstress the liver.
Interesting. Now, I can do an argument and play, you know, devil's advocate.
We can play both sides, of course.
For kidneys, you know, being pretty resilient unless you have renal failure. There's very, very high protein diet studies that show zero damage to kidneys. I'm talking 2+ grams per pound of body weight. So, I mean, we go back, like that's here nor there. My problem is, for most people, I don't think a carnivore diet is sustainable, because I think that most people like carbs. And also, we do have data on keto diets showing that they do decrease performance. For someone like Hawk or myself who train intensely to build muscle, it's more of a big deal. But for a desk jockey who's not really using glucose as a fuel source because they're fat and they just sit around and fucking do office work all day, then they go home and watch fucking TV. Yeah, you know, that's probably not as big of an issue. So it depends on the person. I think it's situation situation sensitive. But my thing about the carnivore diet is it's marketing. I've seen through this the whole time, and everybody called me a liar, and I had people attack me. Here's the problem with the carnivore diet. It came out saying you don't need supplements. This isn't about making money. And they're like, this is just all you have to do is eat fucking a 16-ounce ribeye for breakfast and a 16-ounce ribeye for dinner, and you're good. Next thing you know, there's a fucking book that costs 20 something bucks. Then the next thing you know, there's a website raising money for research. Next thing you know, they're selling fucking meat. Like they're literally, everybody's an affiliate of some fucking meat company. Next thing, they're selling electrolyte supplements because, as we know, keto diets and diets lacking in carbs are extremely harsh on your body's electrolyte balance, meaning that you become deficient in electrolytes. So I don't have a problem with the carnivore diet when used in the proper application. One of those where if someone has an autoimmune disorder, I think it has a phenomenal application for those with autoimmune disorders or inflammation issues, or as a temporary fix to bring inflammation under control. Because let's be honest, what is gluten? It's 2 undigestible amino acids. What do veggies and fruits have? Fiber for some people that can irritate bowels. Here's the thing too, like my wife has diverticulitis, and we're in there. She just got her colonoscopy, and the doctor just literally took the camera out of her ass. And she's like, okay, what do I do about this? He's like, well, fiber is your friend. And that's for a diverticulitis, which essentially is little tiny holes in your digestive tract and your colon and all that good stuff, right? So if fiber is your friend, and this is a doctor who's very good, he's a specialist. If you have zero fiber, now the carnivore diet, remember, is a zero fiber diet. Now, I believe you can over fiber. And as Hawk even said, you got to be careful not to eat too much fiber. It'll fuck you up, right? Yep. You can over fiber, but these people have literally gone zero fiber. In my opinion, that's going full potato. I believe you need some fiber in your diet. It has its purpose. It has its role. And but they cherry pick studies, and the vegans do it too. And that's why both groups are stupid, because there's so many studies that contradict other studies. The vegans will point to LDL studies on one side saying LDL is bad. And then the carnivores will go ahead and point to another study that says that oxalates do this. And all the studies are all of them have flaws. Every study is flawed in some way. So for them to just cherry pick the studies they want is fucking insane. And that's what gets me about both of them. And any thoughts on that? I'm sorry I went off on a rant, but I like science. Science is my friend, and science makes me happy. In fact, when I think about science, I usually get at least a partial erection. I love science. And so my thing is, what is your opinion on what I just said, that both sides need to be more intellectually honest about the data on each side? Like, one is like, dude, the carnivore is like, dude, LDL doesn't matter. We have literally decades of research saying it does indicate that you're at a higher risk of things. Now, does it matter? Maybe not. But when you take an entire group of population and you have all these people with LDL that fucking die and all these people with lower LDL that don't fucking die, like, there's a reason it's called good and bad cholesterol. They didn't just make that shit up out of nowhere, right?
Right. And I've seen I've seen in my blood work that cholesterol in my blood work, because I consume a lot of plants, is very, very low. Cholesterol in general, my cholesterol is very, very low, like almost non-existent, because I don't really eat high cholesterol food.
Yeah.
I agree with you 1,000%. I feel like they're both too extreme.
Yeah.
There's one thing if you're doing something for ethical reasons. There's another thing for doing it for moral, cultural. But when you're out there and you guys know who you are, when you out there, either side, and you start picking on people, you know who you are. And you start picking on people saying, oh, you're going to die from this, or this is going to happen to you, or this is going to happen. And half of these people are just keyboard bangers. They just sit behind a keyboard, and then that's what they do. They bang on the keyboard and they talk, but they're not in the real world. They're not in the real world. Because I've met some vegans that they look at me sideways, and I'm like, dude, One, I look better than you. Two, I'm stronger than you. Three, you can't beat me if you step on a bodybuilding stage. Four, I'm healthier than you because I actually pay attention to things. Some of these guys, I mean, they go vegan and then they're eating burgers and fries, but it's burgers and fries, vegan processed meats,
Bro,
vegan processed food.
I got
Processed
interrupted.
food is processed food.
Do you remember that vegan place we went to in fucking Vegas and how good that was? That
Bro,
fucking cauliflower shit. Like, I
I
ain't
was
gonna
talking
lie.
about it today. I
That
was
was
talking
fucking
about it today.
So Sean Sean and I are probably buying a house in Vegas for Ambrosia. And I'm just gonna use that house just to eat at that fucking vegan place. There's another place called Veggie Nation in Vegas
Yeah.
that's where we
Yeah.
ate. And it was
That's what
it's
it
just
is.
it's the best vegan food ever. Gary Reinl, who's one of the creators of the Marc Pro, he's the one who turned me on to that. He's actually a vegan. And he is a performance specialist, by the way, guys. I'm not saying vegans are optimal. I'm not vegan. I don't believe it's optimal, but I believe vegans can do awesome. And whatever Cam Newton is doing is wrong. He's fucked up.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, he's getting looked at.
So we got Cristobal. Let's get
Yeah.
to questions. That'll spark some more conversation. You like that, Hawk?
Of course. Let's do
I
it.
think we've rambled enough. Cristobal says, boom, let's just go to every single one of them. Fuck it. Oh, there's a great one. Hosan G. I'm going to go with Hosan. Do you think it's Hosan or Josan? I'm going to go with Hosan. What are your main protein sources? Now, this is a great contrast. Hawk, you want to start out? I'm an omnivore. So let's go with protein sources.
All right. So for me, Planta is one of my staples, especially when I go on the road.
You go
Marc
through a
knows
bag
I bring bags. I bring bags, and I don't care, and I'm not ashamed of it. I make gains, and that's my goal. But if your goal's not gains, then obviously you can just eat salad all day. But I'm not a rabbit. So my main protein source is Planta, outright bars, and then every now and then I do some kind of meat replacement, but I always make sure it's low sodium and there's some kind of benefit. Like I do call it vegan tuna, but Marc doesn't like me to call it vegan tuna.
Well, I have a question for you, Hawk. I've always wondered this. Since you've never eaten real tuna, you have no fucking idea if it's accurate or not.
I don't care what it tastes. It tastes good.
It smells like vagina. It must be fish.
But you know what was great is that I actually contacted the company, and their whole main premise was to mimic the omega-3, 6, and 9 of fish, so that when you consume this vegan meat replacement of tuna, you're actually getting the same similar amino acid profile, but you're getting the omega-3, 6, and 9. So my omega-3, 6, and 9 is covered.
Is it 6 ounces of tuna is 1.2 grams of omega-3s, if I'm not mistaken? There's another issue. What are your thoughts on omega-3s or DHA, EPA, which are so fundamental in neural function? How do vegans supplement with that? Do you have an algae source that you recommend? Even if we don't carry it, I want to hear this because I'm very interested. I want to carry it. If there's a brand that you like, I will source it and I will get it on Tiger Fitness.
I think we should just come out with our own, because some of them are not.
Fuck it, I'll go to work tomorrow. Good, done. We'll have one out in about, give me 12 to 16 weeks.
Some of these companies don't give the 5 grams of EPA to DHA. They'll do
we want 3 grams. So we want 3 grams. 3 grams. I think that's what we're looking at. 3 grams total. That's what most. Yeah, that 5 grams a bit much. 3 grams, what most people are like, okay, this does a little bit for dyslexia, but not a lot. Like, there's different doses that handle different things, and we'll call it Hawk's ball sweat. That'll be perfect. Okay, now getting. So you have his protein. My protein sources, bison, free range. I always have grass fed shit. Bison has to be grass fed by U.S. law. Chicken occasionally. I'm more of a bison guy. I like red meat, but I like lean red meat. Because as Hawk was saying, fuck, dude, LDL, HDL, like my bison, by the time I cook it, is leaner than fucking chicken. So my bison's good. It has CLA, it has DHA, it has EPA. It's fucking amazing. Bison, grass-fed beef, it does matter. It does make a difference. I'm a stickler for that. Even when I eat out, I try to eat at restaurants that have grass-fed. I even have a local place called the Butcher Block in Franklin, Tennessee, that has the most amazing fucking cuts of meat, the most amazing what do we get? Brisket that we made. Oh, it's fucking great. And I don't eat much white meat, but I eat really lean red meat. When I'm traveling and when I'm at home, I'm gonna be real. Planta and MTS whey, it's usually 3-to-1 MTS whey to Planta. because whey protein does have slight more immune benefits because whey is fucking glutathione and all that good shit. So for me, it's basically bison, salmon, MTS whey, and planta. And of course, outright bars, which that goes without saying. I ate 9 of them yesterday because Tim just got back. They all just got back from vacation, so they were out of food in the house. And I'm like, you have a bodybuilder on, ate a whole bag of fucking Costco beef jerky. Thank God I brought that shit with me, Hawk. I was fucking starving. I was about to start eating fucking bullshit they had in there. But good news is Tim literally had 80 boxes of outright bars for guests. He's my man. So there you can contrast what we're doing. Like we're both pro bodybuilders, different level. Hawk is, I'm sorry, I love Kent. Hawk's better than the ANBF. Hawk's an NPC. He's an IFBB pro potential. So ANBF, he's a pro there now, but I see Hawk getting a pro card in the IFBB as a vegan natural. I honestly fucking do. This guy, Hawk's a guy. If I told Hawk to go eat a log of vegan shit and it'd get him in shape, he would. And that's the mindset you have to win. And I do the same thing with Jose. Jose's like, do this. Okay. It's like fucking get results, right?
My wife thought I was nuts when you gave me the sauna protocol. She was like, how many times you gotta do?
Did that shit not work?
She was like, how many times? She was like, how many times you doing the sauna? I'll be right back.
We didn't have to take one fucking even natural diuretic. We were done. And you were healthy. Guess what? And guess what? You were able to fill out. That shit was fucking amazing. I loved it. Anyway, what up, Mark? What up? Let's go to this one.
Jojo. Hey.
All right. Oh, here's one off topic. Oh, fuck. I haven't answered this question in a good 2 months. Is this guy Doug Miller natural or real natural?
I mean, does it matter? What does it do for you?
I think worry about your own self. Like, look, I've traveled with Doug. Doug's a good friend of mine. If he's on steroids, he's really fucking good at hiding it because I've literally tried to get him to fucking crack. Like, I'm like, Doug, so what are your thoughts on Anadrol? And he's like, what? He's like, yeah, that's a bulking steroid, right? He's like, yeah. He's like, I don't fucking know. Like, he really doesn't fucking know. And I'm a guy who I think I spent a total like 6 months like on the road with Doug, including 8 weeks in fucking Australia, living with the guy. Trust me, if he was on steroids, I would have fucking seen him. I mean, because I had my prescriptions with me. He saw my juice, like he didn't have there's no signs. There's never any lumps on his body. There's no injection sites. Like Doug's just a fucking outlier. He's a freak. And if he's on drugs, okay. But like, why would, like, out of all things, we have a video titled, there's a vegan talking about the carnivore diet. And the thing on your mind is Doug Miller natural? Like, that's kind of a bitch thing. Like, isn't it? Like worrying about another man, like just worry about how good you can, like Hawk, you're competing in NPC. And I'd say a vast majority of those competitors are on at least multivitamins, right? They're not totally natural. So you don't worry about if these guys are natural. It doesn't bug you. What you do is you try to bring the best Hawk there is to beat the fuck out of people.
That's it.
All right, let's moving on.
Davis, I suggest you do the same, Davis.
But I want you to realize that, dude, like, just worry about you and how good you can be. Okay, there's a great one from US12M. I'm guessing that's a shoe size. Vegans are hypocrites or hypocrites. Man, hopefully that was a spell check issue. Isn't that like a Greek fucking novel or something? Anyway, more animals and bug get destroyed getting the veggies and soybeans. What are your thoughts on that, Hawk?
I mean, yeah, but then we could argue that how many fields are being destroyed for cows to eat them. I mean, we could argue it's semantics at the end of the day. I mean, both sides are wrong. How about that?
Can I jump in? Number one is it's tradition. It's tribal. Same reason I light a fucking menorah on Hanukkah. Dude, I didn't have to fucking sit in a cave and fucking live on 1 day of oil for 8 fucking days. It's just fucking tradition. It's what you fucking do. It's what your tribe does. It's heritage. It's honoring your ancestors. Another thing is, like, I hate to be that guy, but they're fucking insects. Who the fuck cares? Like, they procreate really fucking well. Like, there's dodo birds are extinct, and like we almost made bison extinct. Like, we literally almost fucking ran out of fucking bison, right? Like, we almost killed off the entire population. We literally had to be like, hey, stop killing fucking bison. You've never heard of them, man? Fuck, we're running out of fucking cockroaches. They're fucking bugs. I mean, I get it. I get the fucking moral equivalency of life is a life. But I think that's silly. So bottom line is, for humans to eat, we have to kill something. And there's actually new data showing that plants feel pain. I saw the study, Hawk. It fucking wigged me out. So plants have feelings.
You never knew that?
Hey, we have to fucking kill things to eat. They're killing things that are fucking like plants are plants, soy is soy, but Hawk's not a soy guy. Like, who says that vegans are just eating soybeans? I don't think I've seen this motherfucker eat soy once. We ate edamame. We ate edamame. It was fucking good too.
Yeah, that's like once in a blue moon. I don't actually go to the store to buy soy.
Nah, man, you rub it all over your titties
with a little coconut oil.
For the MCTs, bro. Do the work, baby. What's good, fellas in chat? Oh man, we're just going through all this shit, man. We love our people. From Simon. Oh, look at that. That is a dope way to spell Simon. That is a fucking. Your parents are awesome. He's from Facebook. Yes, we have the fucking worlds fucking colliding. We got Twitter, Facebook, and fucking YouTube all in one. Oh my God. Vegan makes you swole. It can. Look at Hawk is. I encourage you guys to go follow him on he's a Barbarian Hawk on Instagram. This dude is a fucking impressive specimen. Like, there are times when I'm looking at him, I'm like, okay, this guy's not fucking vegan. I've had people like message me like, there's no way he's fucking vegan. I'm like, no, trust me. The reason I know you're vegan is because the food, I could tell the food you eat because the sodium fluctuates so much. If you travel and you don't have planta, I could tell when you're eating a lot of that fake fish shit. And that doesn't happen to carnivores. I do have some people like it's just body type too. Like I have one client who like if he like eats a piece of bread, he gains 10 pounds. It's the fucking weirdest thing. I'm like, man, you're like a fucking water buffalo. Like what the fuck? But everybody's different, right?
Yeah. And I don't train with the Jane Fonda pink dumbbell. Marc knows I actually train.
Nah, man, I can't wait to hit it again. Charlotte, I didn't have time, but we got New York, and we might just do the Arnold because New York is literally the week before the Arnold. So we'll see. That might be a lot of travel in 1 week, but I at least I'm going to New York. I've sorted that out. So February, and Hawk might be there. Matt Stevens might go. It's February 26th. I'll be at Natural Body.
February 25th. So 26th, we're going to celebrate at Natural Body.
And the
27th, I told my wife she's down.
So we're training at Bev's, Steve's gym, which is going to be great. Yeah, and so good guy to know, great guy, phenomenal guy, runs the most awesome organization, the IFBB, and I mean that 100%. Proud representative of the IFBB now. And then we're going to go on Sunday to Aries Nutrition in New Jersey and train after that as well. Hello, fellow vegan bodybuilder. Here, I just got my second on my first show as a bikini competitor. Hell yeah, Miz. Send the nudes.
Hit me up on Instagram.
Oh, no, don't send him nudes. He's a married man. Send them.
Not like that. Not get me in trouble.
That was such
bad
timing.
That was so bad time. She probably
two married fucking dudes. Like, I was just kidding, and he's like, hit me up on the All right. I agree. Vegan Gains is an embarrassment. I can't stand him. That's his shtick, though. And he makes money being an asshole, and I'm not even mad at that. Like, I don't get mad at people being
everybody has their own lane. That's his lane.
My shtick is just being me, and same with Hawk. Like, Hawk is Hawk. You know, obviously when I say boom, I don't like fucking say boom at breakfast every day. But like when Hawk does his whole, his announcements, his intros, like that's him just louder, and I think we all do that. But Vegan Gains is probably a character. I don't believe he's going to be that much of an asshole in real life. I think he's just making money. And I'm not mad at that because I look at YouTube as we're all actors, right? Like my act is just being me. I don't give a fuck. But these guys are making, like, I don't give a fuck if I make 1 penny off of YouTube. These guys are literally paying their bills off of YouTube. Like, Hawk and I, we're doing okay. Like, these guys, this is their fucking revenue stream. So shock and fucking awe, if they don't do that, they don't fucking pay their bills. So I'm not even mad. And I think you feel the same.
That's his lane. He likes, he likes to get at people. It is what it is. I have my own lane. I make gains. And I'm showing people how to do it. And I'm letting people know, hey, listen, you don't got to be all crazy like that. Just do what you want to do and don't let anybody tell you.
We want to inspire people because we're at the end of the day, we're just husbands and dads. And that's our job. And then we have jobs. Like, we have fucking jobs. These guys, their job is to sell shit on YouTube. Our job is to do our jobs. Like, I quit social media tomorrow and I'm still going to live where I live. I'm still going to make the money I make. These guys, that's their revenue stream. That's why I'm not mad at that, because like that's their work. Their work is to do YouTube and be fucking and what is that? Shock and odd, be like fucking controversial, right? Not mad at it, but and Hawk and I like to ask random women for nudes sent to our DMs on Instagram accidentally. From Thomas M. Maggie, too much cholesterol and red meat, bad on top of drugs. Some red meat, like ribeye, is different. Again, my bison is leaner than chicken. I don't, that's what I hate, is that we fucking do this blanket statement like red meat is bad. No. There's different fucking red meat.
Different types of red meat. I was actually speaking to, because one of my buddies has some land and he's a hunter. And he was telling me that wild caught game has like 2%. It's 2% fat, super lean. But he told me you're not supposed to, because I know they're gonna get at me. The vegans are gonna try to get at me, but I don't really care. Come with it. I'll send you my address. I'll send you my address. You can come see me.
He'll send you Vegan Games address.
Here's my address. I live in Canada. I heard you're not supposed to use lead bullets. You're supposed to use copper.
So the good news is the guy who built our house, he's a hunter and he hunts too much meat. So he's killing a deer for us. He's killing a deer. Yeah, Matt, you met him at the Rumble. So he's going and hunting a deer this week, and we bought a deep freezer. I'm pretty excited about it. And venison is leaner than chicken, leaner than turkey. It's lean. And it's got this gamey taste. It's venison. So for Miz, it's funny. The vegan community has gone crazy over the years. When I started in 1992, it wasn't as crazy. Yeah, I think the carnivores and vegans, they're like dueling to see who's fucking weirder.
Well, now they're doing the cult thing. Now they're trying to make it a cult thing, because a lot of people need to understand the word vegan, that was created in the 1940s. It has nothing to do with eating. Actually, the word is an ethical thing. So when you say I'm a vegan, you're saying I don't kill animals and I don't like animal cruelty.
Oh no, I beat the shit out of animals. I'm just kidding. From Cristobal, the best diet is the one you like. Disagree. Couldn't disagree more. I like Twinkies and Doritos. Shut the fuck up. Come on. Like the best diet is the one that fits things you enjoy eating, but also doesn't make you fat as fuck and unhealthy, wouldn't you?
And it doesn't just glorify one thing over the other. I think protein, carbs, and fats have their place, and they're all delicious.
Thank you, Mark, for being low-minded, open. I'm hoping that's open enough to have low-minded. It's like, you fucking meathead, enough to have a vegan guest. I love your content so much. So Hug is actually one of my best friends. So, and I have, you know, I have much respect for vegans because a lot of vegans know that there's some performance issues and they have to supplement, and there's certain things they need to do, but they do it because it's ethically, in their opinion, it's ethically right to do. And look, that's fucking respect. Like that is respect. Like my daughter she dropped a weight class and she lost 5 pounds for her wrestling meet today. 5 pounds. There's a girl who's already lean, and the mind strength it takes to do that, to do anything dietarily like that is fucking impressive. So I'm not even mad. Like I love vegans, I love carnivores, but I think we all need to discuss how crazy these motherfuckers are.
I agree.
On the side, like obviously you're not crazy. Alan, what's up, bro? So we got Gainscast going tomorrow at I believe 6 p.m. Eastern. Consistent high carb intakes are for extremely active people. Consistent high processed carbs are for athletes who train daily. Keep up with the calories burned. You know, you could also get like potatoes are extremely fast absorbed carb. Well, they're actually slower, but potatoes, rice, you don't have to eat super ultra high processed carbs. But yeah, I think that ultra high carbohydrate diets would be more for athletes. Wouldn't you agree on that?
Oh yes, of course.
Absolutely.
But
I agree.
It should also be on how these things make you feel. Because I know white potatoes make me sleepy. So I'd rather have white potatoes like for dinner than a sweet potato, because sweet potato I can eat that and it does nothing. It gives me energy.
Okay. Okay, from DC, I've heard medical doctors say that carbs are the devil for weight loss and visceral fat. There's also medical doctors that say that you only need 50 grams of protein a day if you're a 200-pound male trying to build muscle. Doctors have different opinions. So I know medical doctors that are phenomenal and believe in prayer for healing. I know medical doctors that, I don't know, prescribe or tell everyone blanketly to take experimental medical procedures. I know medical doctors who tell people not to take those procedures. At the end of the day, there's a reason why when you go to the doctor, you sometimes get a second opinion. Like when I had a knee issue, I went and I saw another doctor and I got two opinions and I weighed both of their values. So doctors, yeah, there are some really bad doctors. There are some good doctors, but I don't think that carbs are ever the devil. I think that eating in a hypercaloric state and not exercising enough is the devil.
Right, Mark, you and I both know there are times where when you're adding in carbohydrates does the opposite. It actually helps you get leaner.
Which is fucking voodoo. Like the body's not a textbook, you know, and most of these doctors, they literally take like one course in nutrition, like one fucking course, like 2-unit class. It's fucking embarrassing. These doctors don't know what the fuck they're doing half the time. They just
half of the time they're out of shape and have.
There's a reason why doctors would be prepping natural pro bodybuilders. They don't. Wow, Alan Roberts is here. Hi, yeah, Alan will be again Gainscast. If you're not on the Gainscast, you got to join us on the Gainscast. It'll be up tomorrow. It's youtube.com/Gainscast. Fucking subscribe now. From DC, those Sedona black bean burgers are dangerous. Never tried them. Have you tried those?
No, I haven't. I'm gonna go look them up.
Jordan Joseph, Austin, man, more power to you that you're vegan. I'm good with that. Love the love. Miz, I use a lot of tofu in the air fryer, very little oil and inexpensive. I got to try that tuna. I work at Sprouts. Sprouts is a great place to work if you're a vegan.
Oh, yeah, they have a phenomenal section.
From DC, I legit think Doug is a freak of nature. I'd err on the side of that. I just think he isn't. And Doug's been training for 25 plus years to a point where most people would quit after a year because he trains fucking hard. And I've spent literally months of my life living with the motherfucker. So, I mean, it's just one of those things where just worry about you and just admire the fact that he's fucking gorgeous. Like the guy has a gorgeous body, no homo. Like he is a little bit. I would have sex with Doug. No, Doug's a beautiful man. He's got a beautiful physique. He's got great genetics.
He opened the gym out here? He
did. Yes, he did. I wish Doug the best. Doug's my boy. Yeah, the dude's insertions and muscle bellies are just crazy. Yeah, you can't fucking steroid muscle bellies and insertions, right? Like that's God. Dude, I'm on TRT 1cc farm grade sip, hornier than a motherfucker, big Rammy on gallons.
Awesome.
Okay, thank you for telling us about your sex drive. I don't know how I would have spent the rest of this week not knowing about your sex drive. Miz, again, what vegan supplements are you currently using, Hawk?
I use Ambrosia Planta. That's for protein. I use the vegan outright bars. The blueberry is my favorite, but I also do the chocolate chip and the sunflower one. Then I also have, supplements, right? Well, as far as a multivitamin, I take MCF Multi. And that pretty much covers my multivitamin. And I do sea moss and bladderwrack, which is something I'll talk to Marc about. But sea moss has 92 of the minerals your body needs to function properly. And bladderwrack, when combined with sea moss, has the total spectrum of 102 minerals covered. And it also has omega 3, 6, and 9, iron, neem iron, and things of that nature. So those are that's pretty much where I get all my stuff from.
Awesome. Soy protein, okay for men. Yeah. Look, a lot of people like soy causes. I've never seen anybody develop gyno from soy. Is it a optimal protein? No.
I don't think it's optimal.
But I mean, if you eat soy, if you get like 10 grams of soy, I wouldn't purposely like supplement with soy. But if you eat soy, you're not going to develop a vagina.
No, you'll be fine. Soy protein, it's okay, but it's not the best. If you wanted to know what the best protein source, vegan protein source, it would be from peas and brown rice.
Vegan comparable to circle, not okay. Moving on. I don't know what that means. A swole motherfucker liver diet Liver King diet good. I've heard about this Liver King guy. I've never watched any of his stuff. I have no idea what he does. I don't know his shtick. I just know that people talk about him because he eats raw food.
Is it that he only eats raw liver?
He like blends up livers and shit and drinks it or some fucking shit. I haven't seen it. I can't comment on it because I don't know him. I haven't watched it, but I know that a lot of people watch it because he's supposedly very entertaining. I'll have to take a look at that. Oh shit, I'll meet you guys there. Love Aries Nutrition. That's right. February 27th will be at Aries. Awesome.
Oh yeah, my man Pat.
Jive Cat the Magnificent. Bro, I can't watch this now. I really wanted to get and leave a comment for some support. We'll definitely give this a watch later. Thanks for the vegan content. My pleasure. My pleasure. Norway here. I need some advice as vegan. I want to get more lean. Thank you. I think we kind of gone over that, but you want to quickly address that?
Make sure you're getting adequate protein and your amino acids are bonded chain amino acids, so complete proteins. Get you some Planta, get you some outright bars that should cover some of your protein needs. Try to get low sodium, so low sodium meat replacements if you need them, and try to combine your lentils and quinoa with don't make it your protein source, but just make sure you combine those things to add to it. I'm a big fan of the amino acid pool, so getting all of your amino acids in by the end of the night, you'll be fine.
So when he says low sodium, it's not because we're against sodium. It's because vegan foods tend to put in a
shitload of soda. Oh, man.
You got to flavor it, and salt's delicious,
Yeah, salt makes everything delicious, but I'd rather salt my own food because half of the time the sodium that they're using is trash. It's not sea salt. It's not no Himalayan salt.
As a vegan, would you still utilize that much pasta as your protein source?
I don't consume pasta as a protein source.
I don't see a problem with it, but like I wouldn't go out of my way to eat pasta unless you're Italian.
No, but they do have black bean pasta that has 25 grams of protein with 30 carbs.
Nice.
But I don't do it. I like my sweet potatoes.
Yeah, there's also a what is that shit? The fucking the beans, not kidney beans, the fucking whatever. They got some fucking bean pasta that's pretty good that we got. Cali Muscle all fucked up now. He on mukbang diet fast food. I've already addressed this, but Cali's gone full potato, man. Like he's saying that protein powder will kill you, and the dude's eating fucking Church's chicken, and he considers diet food fucking fried potatoes, chicken, and egg whites. I'm like, this is your heart attack diet? Like, fuck. I think you got your priorities messed up. I love when the guy owns a supplement company and he literally says that his own products are killing him. Like, I'm just done. Like, I'm just like, I'm not even addressing it anymore. I know I shouldn't have even addressed that there, but like people will send me like clips and I'm like bored, like taking a shit or something. I'll watch it. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's fucking serious. If you weren't competing, I meant to follow with, I have no idea what that, I think we already answered it. As a vegan, how much protein you get on a daily basis, Hawk?
35 grams per meal. So I think I'm roughly like in the 225 range. Something like that.
Oh, he's only getting 30 grams a day. Oh my God, that's not enough. Raise that shit to a gram per pound.
30 grams a day. You better get 30 grams per meal.
Thomas, bison better. Got my LDL cholesterol, red blood cells down. Branch Warren on deer meat. Yep. I mean, I'm not saying get the fat. I don't even like the taste of fatty meat. It's like biting into bullshit. Serious question is ribeye is better. I thought it was a fattier cut. Ribeye is a fatty cut, and I don't like ribeye. I don't like fatty cuts. I just like leaner cuts. It's just me. If you like fatty cuts, just realize fat has a lot of calories. I don't think carbs are the devil either. I've lost weight adding carbs with your machine lean program. Perfect.
Facts. We just said that a minute ago.
I've been on a carnivore diet for 3 months and feel great. Cool. Hawk's been on a vegan diet for his entire life and wins bodybuilding shows. Like, yeah, of course you feel great. It's still better than the standard American diet, and if you feel great, do it. Like, I'm like, dude, I'm not mad at someone for finding something that they love, that they feel great on. That's a fucking great thing. I'm happy for you, but you're not science. You're just one guy who feels great on it. Anecdote does lead to studies, but like, just because you feel good on the carnivore diet doesn't mean that we should blanket recommend it to everybody on earth. Can I get a job at Tiger Fitness? Well, with that resume, who can say no? Okay. Soy upsets my stomach, makes you gassy. I haven't eaten soy other than edamame in a while. Vegan collagen supposedly exists. I don't know how, but it's literally from cow hooves. Is that even possible?
I've heard them claim that, but when I looked at it, it wasn't even like anything that could like mimic the benefits of collagen.
So Katie's so I actually made the burgers earlier, informed them. Speaking of vegans, I have some Bison Burgers for you to grill. I'm ready. Those Bison Burgers are gonna be fire, by the way. Really excited about them. I got buns and everything. Took your advice on the 3 reps with Alpha 1. Still pushing myself too hard, but paid the dues. Now it's my turn. Thanks for the advice. I have no idea what that's about. Do you know what that's about?
Awesome, John. Enjoy. Keep feeling it. Keep checking.
A mung bean pasta. It's really good. I don't know what a mung bean is.
I do, and mung bean pasta is pretty good.
Fat isn't bad if you're not competing, but are exercising an appropriate amount. Well, I think everything's not as bad when you're exercising because it mitigates a lot of the damage done by these overconsumption macronutrients. Exercise is kind of it kind of balances out the shit, but you can still out shit your exercise. You know what I mean?
Right.
Inca berries give B vitamins. Vegans often mix just in case. Oh, dude, Inca berries. That's actually great. It's a great piece of advice. I don't know what the fuck they are, but great.
Yeah, I've heard of them, but I mean, I say get blood work done first.
Sea moss has collagen. Okay, then I stand corrected. I just know that it comes from hooves. I think this will be the last one unless one more comes in. Thoughts on accuracy of Apple Watches accurately tracking calorie burning and use this to make dieting decisions. I think that's a horrible idea. I think you basically set your diet and you decrease as necessary to continue to lose weight because your diet and everything's going to vary. Do you really want to adjust your macros every day based on 2 more steps? Apple Watches are not accurate. I mean, even if they are, the body's not consistent. Like the body's not a textbook. So your diet is your diet and your activity as a human being is generally going to be pretty similar day to day.
I agree. It's just like the treadmill. You put your hands on the treadmill and it says your heart rate went to one thing and you burned 700 calories. Who cares? You didn't really burn 700 calories.
No, it's all bullshit, man.
Yeah.
So anyway, thank you so much, Hawk. This has been great. We actually kept it exactly where we wanted the time. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Barbarian Hawk. That's BARBARIANHAK. I have a YouTube channel, same thing. I'm going to be uploading starting in January, documenting my prep to the national stage and soon to be #1 vegan IFBB pro.
I'm down with that.
I'm saying it here clear.
I'm down with that. We're giving more stuff this year. Exciting news. February 1st, the Outright Bar launches in GNC. Pretty fucking awesome. It's the first time I've announced it. Mid-January, we'll be launching in Big Lots, which is fucking awesome. They're a great retailer of various things. So it just shows the versatility of the bar and where it can go. And we're killing it. And obviously we're standing up to tyranny. And that's something I don't want to address on this channel because I like having this channel and I don't want YouTube to give me a strike. So anyway, guys, we will be live on the Gainscast at 6 p.m. tomorrow. Myself, Alan, Matt, Hawk has a job, but if he's free, we'll send him the link. Maybe he could jump in. Anything you guys need, feel free to contact me, Marc, MARC at tigerfitness.com. Or you could DM me on Instagram. I return all DMs, even that girl who's going to send Hawk nudes later. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Hawk, you want to sign off?
Yeah, the girl who's going to send me the nudes, just DM me that it's you so that I know.
All right, y'all. Take it easy.